At this point, I feel like we need to start regulating podcast equipment the same way we regulate firearms, because apparently every time a new mic gets plugged in, somebody decides it's the perfect moment to air out decade-old beef instead of just picking up the phone and handling it like grown men. Now, before you leave any comments, please make sure to watch the entire video. And today's story is a perfect example of how podcast culture is fueling unnecessary drama. Who would have guessed that Jim Jones had this much pent-up hostility toward Tony Yeyo? I mean, Jim and 50 have their own long-running issues, but for the most part, Yayo's has been in the background. The last thing I even remember Yayo saying about Jim wasn't even about Jim in the first place. When Yayo went on Matt Hoffa's podcast, he said, "No disrespect, but Jim still had Stack in the hood."
This is the difference between me and other, right? Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Ryan Squad.
Rest in peace.
Far Rock.
Yeah.
You understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles, he had Max B. I looked at it like, great. You know. Stack's Bundles, we had a portion, was still in the hood. No disrespect to Jim Jones. Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out that motherfucker barefoot. But I'm walking out there barefoot. That's when you know a nigga love you, boy. Because he making sure you don't get your shit split. Because you go back to 134, anywhere, Baisley, Brooklyn, shit gets split.
Now here's where things get interesting. If you actually go back and listen to that clip, Yayo wasn't dissing Jim. He was simply making a comparison, a casual observation in the middle of a conversation. Nothing deep, nothing malicious. But fast forward 3 years later, and it turns out Jim was still holding onto those words like a grudge he just couldn't shake. And it's not just Jim. Apparently Memphis Bleek was also salty about something Yayo said about him a few months back.
Bleek said, Hove doesn't look out for me like Fifth looks out for...
And then he said he eats his home halal. He eats on his own. I eat on my own too.
Right.
I go on my own tour.
But now he's trying to take a shot.
Yeah, because and it's a cool shot because I just came off tour.
Right.
When have you seen Bleek on tour? On his own.
Right.
If he's doing something with Freeway and Siegel and them like that, it came to a point where 50 was helping Siegel. All I'm saying is when you look at a situation, Jay-Z is not a bad guy. Bleek is not a bad guy.
No.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying to you that Jay-Z was all business with them niggas.
Right.
When Buck up on his taxes, 50 would piece him off. You know what I'm saying? When Prodigy bought a house and needed more money, 50 would piece him off. Prodigy would pay him back. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen shit like that.
So in other words, you're saying Hove has always kept it business.
Business. 50, the thing with 50 is, it was business and we was friends. I don't feel like Bleek was Jay-Z friend. I don't feel like Young Guns was Jay-Z friend. I don't feel like
and that's okay.
Jay-Z friend.
I mean, you probably should have learned or known early on what type of relationship that it was.
Definitely.
So therefore, there's no misunderstanding at a later date in time.
Yeah. So I seen 50.
But he shouldn't measure his friendship by what you and Fifth have.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish my boy looked out for me like that. Or I look for my boy don't look out for me like you such as.
Exactly.
Okay, but y'all don't have the type of relationship that me and Fifth have.
Exactly. I've been on the block with Fifth. I don't know if Bleek was on the block with Jay.
Right.
I don't know that, and I'm not taking nothing from him. I'm not here to blow shots or discredit him. All I'm saying is I seen Fifth piece people off when they had tax problems.
Right.
Jay did it, but he did it with Lil Wayne later on.
Right. He did it with Wayne. He helped
you didn't hear him help
Savage with an immigration lawyer.
Right.
He helped DMX when DMX wanted to leave and he owed.
That's Rock Nation, right? That's Rock Nation as whole. We are not discrediting, but when have you seen him at that point when Young Guns and Bleek was there and Siegel was there? Siegel was left in the dust. Let's keep it real. That's how I looked at it. He could have got.
I'll take your word for that.
Once he disrespect, cool, I understand. But if he didn't disrespect and the dude is loyal there, it should be more opportunities for him. All I'm saying is when Fifth have a tour, anger management tour, me and Banks, everybody on tour, MOP, Mobb Deep. Any artist he had, he put him on a platform.
Right.
So now we've got a situation where one man's opinion from years ago is resurfacing like it just dropped yesterday, and this time it's dragging multiple people back into the drama. Jim decided to invite Memphis Bleek onto his brand new podcast, Artist to Artist, and while it seemed like he was trying to give Bleek his flowers for everything he's accomplished, Bleek brought up Yayo's comment, and that was all it took to light the fuse. You could practically see it on Jim's face. He's been waiting for this moment, years of bottled up frustration finally spilling over. and then he let loose.
That's why you got niggas like Yayo talking about, yeah, Jay don't take care of nigga. I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Yo, smoke hard coke, yo,
chill. Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of, nigga. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene, nigga. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 say you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need that
might
help.
need
That's
2
why-
ounces, nigga.
that's why
Paid
you
in full
looking to
movie,
see-
nigga. I got a G for every bump in your face, nigga. I promise you that, nigga. I promise you that, nigga.
That's why he worried about
Peon, you broke, nigga. You know I got it, nigga. What's up? The
Ain't
bag
nobody-
is up. The both sides.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Flea, where the both sides, Flea?
Let me finish that off. Ain't nobody taking care of niggas over here, B. Yo, nah, you good, my nigga. I fucking love it. Niggas deserve it. They need to hear this shit, man, because they bugging out here. All these niggas worrying about who taking care of who. We take care of we.
Calling someone a cokehead and saying you've got a G for every bump in his face, that's beyond disrespectful. That's next level personal. Of course, Tony Yeyo wasn't about to let that slide. About 30 minutes after Jim's rant started making waves online, Yayo clapped back in a way that was both subtle and savage. With all the rumors going around about Max B possibly coming home next month and the speculation that Jim might not be talking so tough once that happens, Yayo posted a video of Max B himself.
Y'all niggas do, I don't do. I do the other thing. Everything. Y'all niggas go across the street that way, I'm going up. Holla at your boy. I do other things, man. I don't do what y'all niggas do. I don't do what niggas do. I don't watch niggas' money. I don't care. I just do what I do. That shit.
That move was calculated. It wasn't just a response, it was a warning. It was Yayo's way of saying, I see you talking tough now, but let's see how loud you are when Max touches down. And that's when I realized something. Jim just launched a new show. Memphis Bleak has his own platform, and they both know that drama sells. A heated rant gets more clicks than a thoughtful conversation. A diss goes viral faster than a compliment ever will. The sad truth is, podcasting has become the new battleground for hip-hop beefs. Instead of squashing issues in private, artists are turning their platforms into arenas and the fans eat it up. Here's what really gets me about this whole situation, though. Hip-hop has always had beef. That's nothing new. From the battle rap era to the East Coast versus West Coast days, conflict has been part of the culture since the beginning. But the difference back then was that beef meant something. It usually had roots in competition, disrespect, or real-world situations. Now, most of the time, it's not about lyrical skill or territorial pride. It's about algorithms. We're watching a generation of artists and industry veterans, people who once moved the culture forward, reduce their legacies to viral clips and sound bites. It's not about who's the better rapper anymore, it's who can trend the fastest. And while the drama gets clicks, it also chips away at the authenticity that made this culture so powerful in the first place. What's even crazier is how the audience plays a role in fueling it. Every repost, every comment, every "did you see what he said?" just pours gasoline on the fire. And the cycle continues. Someone says something online, the other person responds on a podcast. Then we spend the next week dissecting clips instead of celebrating music or growth. But here's a thought. Imagine if this same energy was spent on collaboration instead of confrontation. Imagine if instead of throwing shots across podcasts, Jim and Yayo actually sat down face to face on camera and hashed out their differences like men. Not only would that conversation break the internet, it would elevate the culture. It would show younger artists that maturity and conflict resolution are just as powerful as bravado and insults. At some point, we've got to ask ourselves, are these podcasts about having real conversations or just creating new enemies? Because make no mistake, the mics, the platforms, the audiences, they all have power. But how we use that power will define the next chapter of hip hop. Do we keep feeding the drama machine, or do we demand more substance, more accountability, more growth from the people we once called our legends? So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Jim Jones crossed the line with his comments about Tony Yeyo, or was he simply defending his name after years of pent-up disrespect? And deeper than that, do you think podcasts are helping the culture evolve, or are they slowly tearing it apart from the inside? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And as always, hit that like button, subscribe if you rock with the content, and turn the bell on so you don't miss the next breakdown. Also, if you enjoy this video, click on this next video where I dive even more. I'll catch you in the next one.